So currently, what you guys are looking at on screen is Keith Thurman doing mitt work. Thank you, Fight Hub, for getting that footage. That's where I captured the picture from, a video from Fight Hub. I'm going to post a link down below of the video. But man, I gotta say, Keith Thurman looks very focused, very ready. During the press conference for the Keith Thurman versus Shawn Porter fight, I got to admit, I thought Keith Thurman looked a little bit bigger. How I was thinking about making a video about it, but boxing ego beat me to it. And so, but you know, his boxing ego, he's a pro at this, and it was a great video. You guys should watch that. But Keith Thurman in that picture, in that video, he looks like he's slimmed down quite a bit. He looks very he looks lean. He looks in shape. You know, you can see the veins are bulging again. I gotta say, like, when you look at this video and listen, like, I don't know if it was just because I had my earbuds in when I was listening to this, but the sounds he was making on the mitts was good. You know, there was some rhythm in it, and I don't know, it's getting me a little bit more pumped up coming into this Keith Thurman Shawn Porter showdown. It's going to be amazing, and I guess there's a few things I wanted to talk about leading up to this fight, like you know, what happens after a fight, what I'd like to see them do after the fight, and stuff like that. If, let's say, personally, I think, you know, I go flip-floppy on this decision because both of them have shown strengths and weaknesses that they each other have, like the strengths and like, for instance, okay, Keith Thurman, he seems like he can move off that mid-range and back foot, you know, long range attack, but in fighting, he doesn't seem as capable. Whereas with Shawn Porter, infighting seems to be Shawn Porter's strong suit. You know, he seems to like going in there, getting rough and tough, and, you know, hitting you in the body and stuff. So it's like, but I don't think Shawn Porter can handle, you know, those long distance battles as well as Keith Thurman can. So it's like they both complement each other. You know, it's like they're both pieces to each other's puzzles. It's just, you know, they have it. It seems like the framework it seems like they both have good chemistry for each other, and that's why it's like, looking at Keith Thurman do his thing on the mitts and, you know, getting focused and whatnot, it gives me chills because I'm starting to get a picture of what this fight is going to look like. Okay, we're probably going to see a lot of. This might be the most versatile battle in recent memory. Like, first off, I want to say, we all know that Shawn Porter, he ain't no fucking bum, he ain't no pushover, he ain't gonna go down. And Keith Thurman, after taking that brutal body shot, he didn't go down either. So we know this is probably gonna, I think, my personal opinion, this is probably gonna last 12 rounds. A lot of people like to throw out the whole thing, oh, Shawn Porter, he got knocked down in the 12th. But let's throw out this, people need to also remember, even though Shawn Porter looked very fit and healthy in that bout against Adrian Broner, that was the lowest weight we've ever seen Shawn Porter in, or at least that's the lowest weight I've ever seen Shawn Porter in. I've never seen him at 144 prior to that bout. Okay, if there has been a time in his professional career where he's fought that bout, someone please tell me, send me a video. But I've never seen him fight below 147 in my life. That was the first time, and so when I take that into consideration, I can give him a pass for getting knocked down by Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner seemed a lot more comfortable, and weight-wise, he looked a little bit more comfortable than Shawn Porter did. Well, I take that back. Shawn Porter looked good. It's just that was the first time I'm sure that the catch weight advantage helped benefit Adrian Broner better than it did Shawn Porter. That's my point. So anyway, let's get back to the whole situation with him and Keith Thurman. Yeah, they both are not scrubs. They both can take a hit. They both can, you know, come back and fight. And it's just, man, because like Shawn Porter, he's so good inside, and then Keith Thurman is so good outside. It's like, when it's the closer we get to this, it's like I don't know whether to be more excited for the Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postal bout, or the Keith Thurman versus Shawn Porter bout. Because, and here's the thing about Keith Thurman too. Even though Keith Thurman's pretty good at, you know, outfighting, I have not seen him clinch and hold that much. He doesn't seem to, you know, don't get me wrong, I respect fighters that do that. You know, I'm not saying that there's anything against this fighter, but let's be honest, okay, it's more exciting to see someone throw them hands to get out of that trouble. and that's what Keith Thurman does. I don't see him clinching as much as other people do when they're in adversary. So this could be very hot, man. Like I'm starting to think that there's gonna be blood in this. I'm starting to think that Jesus, I just watch this video. Listen to the rhythm Keith Thurman is hitting those mitts at. It's like this dude seems dead focused and he seems ready. Initially I thought the advantage was on Shawn Porter's side because I thought Keith Thurman was showing signs of a little bit of fear. However, maybe that fear. It's okay to be a little fearful of your opponent. If you let it affect you in the right ways, like if you let it make you focus. And that's what it seems like Keith Thurman is doing. So, anyway, let's talk about what I want to see it happen after the bout. So, I think the WBA is talking about Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter winner, potentially facing, what's his name? Shane Mosley. I can't believe I forgot his name for a second. But yeah, I know who Shane Mosley is. But yeah, they're talking about them potentially fighting Shane Mosley. If Shawn Porter wins this bout, I want to see Shawn Porter get back in there with Kell Brook. Because here's the thing, okay? If Keith Thurman beats Shawn Porter, I'm going to make a case that Keith Thurman should be Keith Thurman is the best in the 147-pound division over Kell Brook. That's what I'm going to do. Because the thing is, if Keith Thurman then has Shawn Porter under his resume, then Keith Thurman, he definitely, without a doubt, has a better resume than Kell Brook. However, if Keith Thurman loses to Shawn Porter, Shawn Porter can, even though Shawn Porter will now be looked at as better than Keith Thurman, Kell Brook can still make the case that, I still beat Shawn Porter. So that's why if Keith Thurman loses to Shawn Porter, I want to see Shawn Porter get a rematch with Kell Brook. And so, we can see, because I personally, in my opinion, even though I don't mind. I'm not the kind of person that gets mad at champions for fighting mandatories. I still don't think. I'm not very satisfied with the opponent choices of the IBF for Kell Brook. I'm not going to blame it solely on Kell Brook because all he's been doing is fighting his mandatories. We're going to see how Kell Brook handles this whole Errol Spence situation because Errol Spence is looking like he's going to be the mandatory for Kell Brook. But I really want to see Shawn Porter and Kell Brook rematch. That's why I want to see personally. Because even that first bout that they had, it wasn't very decisive and clear. Like I gave it to Kell Brook too, but it didn't look like he didn't just come out straight up dog Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? So I think in the second bout it can be interesting. But yeah, if Shawn Porter wins, he's still going to be looked at as a second in the division. Because Kell Brook, he's always going to have that loss that Kell Brook gave him. Whereas if Keith Thurman wins, he beat Shawn Porter. So that if you look at his resume, that would make his resume better than everything that Kell Brook has done. Because all Kell Brook would have is Shawn Porter, whereas Keith Thurman would have Shawn Porter on top of the Robert Guerreros, the Diego Chavez, stuff like that. So that's why I think these are my thoughts on the whole Keith Thurman Shawn Porter showdown. Man, I'm probably gonna make some more videos relating to this bout that's coming up because I don't know, when I look at these types of videos with Keith Thurman, man, he was cracking those mitts. So anyway, I'm a casual fan. I'm not an expert, but you don't have to be an expert to give your opinion on something. So I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to this, and I hope you leave likes, dislikes, or comments down below. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Take care.